Section 12. Offences procured, advised, or counselled by persons outside the state. I was on my way to work when one of my inspectors called me on the phone to inform me that some people were waiting for me in the office. When I got there, I found 3 women and 2 elderly men waiting patiently for me. When I inquired why they wanted to see me, they said they were parents to the young men who had robbed me. I smiled inwardly as I quickly called Bologi, who insisted I come to his office and update my statement regarding the 3 men that were arrested. I excused myself and went straight to his office. He said to me, "Just so we are both on the same page, I hope you are ready to give evidence in courts in this case." I assured him that we were on the same page. As I left Bologi's office, someone walked up to me. He was Barrister Taiwo, the lawyer to the client who had been defrauded of 28 million naira in the Ogun State case. Obviously, he appreciated how I had handled the matter and as such had another petition for me to handle. We both walked back to my office where his client was waiting to meet me. Getting there, the client rose to his feet and we shook hands. He introduced himself as Chief Adegun Ibrahim, the owner of one of the biggest estates in Ajah. In his petition, he stated that he and his brothers inherited a lot of landed property from their late father as part of their inheritance. He built an estate on one of such lands. He lamented that his elder brother encroached into his land, and when he confronted him on the matter, he counseled and advised some of his cousins to physically assault him. I asked him if he had proof to buttress his allegation. He said his cousins actually perfected what his elder brother encouraged them to do. He lifted his left trouser leg and showed me a large cut on his leg, which he sustained after his 3 cousins attacked him at a family meeting they held in Ajah. All 3 suspects had been arrested and charged to court for assault. In their statements, the 3 of them admitted to have acted under the instruction of the complainant's elder brother, Mr. Ademos Ibrahim. Funny enough, the same IPO that charged his 3 cousins to court invited the elder brother to the station. In the elder brother's defense, he stated that he was in Abuja when the incident happened. His lawyer was able to establish this as an alibi, and also added that the cousins were all adults, old enough to reason through any advice they might have received from his client. From the whole thing, I was able to deduce that he actually counseled the cousins to carry out the act, but he was able to hide behind the fact that he was not in Lagos when the act was carried out. I put a call to the IPO and followed it up with a memo requesting the IPO come to my office the next day with the complainant's brother, which he did. Immediately, Mr. Ademos stepped into my office. His lawyer started shouting at the top of his voice, lamenting that we were disturbing his client over a resolved issue. Barrister Taiwo and Chief Adegun were very quiet because they obviously thought I had nothing to hold Mr. Ademos with. But I looked at the IPO and asked him why Mr. Ademos was not charged with the remaining 3 suspects. Oga, but we don't have anything to hold him with, he said, looking at me and Mr. Ademos' lawyer, who stood up and asked me to show him the offense his client committed. I opened Section 12 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State 2015 and asked the IPO to read it out loud. Both lawyers' attention shifted to the IPO as I handed him the law book. He opened to Section 12 and read, "Offences procured, advised, or counselled by a person outside the state, subsection 1. Any person who, while out of the state, advises, counsels, or procures another to do or omit to do in the state an act which constitutes an offence in the state, and afterwards comes into the state, has by such coming into the state committed the offence and is liable on conviction to the same punishment as if he himself had done the act or made the omission in the state. When the IPO finished reading, I noticed the suspect and his lawyer started sweating. The IPO immediately handcuffed the suspect. It has not come to this now, the suspect's lawyer lamented. I directed the IPO to go to legal and prepare a 2-count charge of conspiracy and offense procured, advised, or counseled by a person outside the state. This new development humbled Mr. Ademos as he weakly watched his lawyer beg Barrister Taiwo and his client, Chief Adigun. So, Barrister, you can actually beg, the chief said to the lawyer, who was helplessly looking at his client in handcuffs, evidently on his way to court. Clearly, he hadn't seen my move coming. Checkmate.
This work of fiction is a production of COSPEAKS, composed and written by Chidi Okoye, narrated by Ikenna Igwe, sound production by Blaze Entertainment, graphics by Illustro Kings Creatives, video production and effects by Kings Media, visual and shots by Sheung B. Thank you for viewing.